would like to address the board?
Did I give you this little piece of paper beforehand? So you know that. Sorry about the tiny print, no budget.
Thank you.
Big one, short.
You'll remember too that you are limited to 5 minutes.
No problem. Well, glad to see my honorable Board of Trustees, caretakers of the children of our community. And I wish to address a very serious issue of which many of you and most people in the community have become very much aware of, and that is our nuclear contamination problem in our protection of our children at our schools. And this is a proposal, and I have written others for my nuclear sites here for cleanup with the EPA and others. And this is a new one to include a more, like I say, immediate and drastic action to take place before the next school year begins. And it is titled, and I'll read it along with you if you'd like to follow along, Whatever It Takes, a Nuclear-Free Zone. This chapter shall be known as the Nuclear-Free Zone or the Nuclear-Free School Zone. Purpose. The purpose of this act is to make Pocatello and Chubbuck schools nuclear-free and uranium materials-free for the safety and future of our children. To prohibit and demand the immediate removal of previously deposited uranium materials contamination sites within 1,000 meters of any school in Pocatello and Chubbuck. B, to establish a citizen and parents' right to know about nuclear materials contamination cleanup and removal activities. And C, to require postings to warn the public and the children of all uranium material contaminated sites throughout Pocatello and Chubbuck, and to oppose any use, disturbance, or distribution of these materials within 1,000 meters of any school until the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency safely removes all uranium materials contaminated from these sites. I did not include the findings, the prohibitions, the community's right to know, all the other sections, addition to this transportation, public notice of free zone, definitions, enforcement, and severability clause. But that's something that we can entertain if you're going to entertain our community to actually be trustees and protect our children and our future here. And not just Pocatello, but Chubbuck. In regards to some of these things, I'll inform you of some of the actions that have taken place, which I'm sure some of you know. The contamination site by Tendoy Elementary School in Alameda Stake. We were not pleased to know that one of the staff members went over and took the uranium signs down that were in the lot across the street from the school. We are also not only semi-pleased with the city of Pocatello at least erecting no trespassing signs there so you wouldn't park there, or the teachers or the students or parents of children, and bringing more of this material on their feet into the buildings or in the schools area. And we are also semi-glad that the city is actually watering the site anytime there's any dry and wind condition, which luckily this is spring, we're getting a lot of rain. It is, when it is relatively safe, doesn't mean you don't pick it up and bring it in your shoes and into the building, but at least the airborne contamination is the route of the cancers of any of this material. It's known as fallout, particle fallout. And this stuff, as we can address later or in meetings, we wish to entertain that you adopt this, that you work with the groups like PINCOC, Pocatello Independent Nuclear Contamination Oversight Cleanup Committee, and others that are knowledgeable, and that we deal with the EPA, which is required within 6 months to actually clean up any of these nuclear sites that are endangering people. That they have not been doing. They've been playing a little game with you and with others in the community as others have partaken. But let me let you know that you have been informed, and you are also liable for misprision, which is a federal crime, and crimes against humanity of doing nothing about it. And believe me, there's some people in your school district here who've known me the last time I was here 20 years ago or so, when I informed you then, and we made it illegal then. But it was not cleaned up. And that's something you should have took action on rather than cover up, like what happened in some of the school areas, but actually clean up. And we would not have this problem, and I would not be sitting here. I would be other places in the world where people demand my attention and my help. But I'm here. This is the issue in this community, to live with uranium or to not live with uranium, and to inform everybody of how deadly this material is in airborne capacity. I'm sorry for Chubbuck, it's now named Chubnobyl, but more nuclear materials was dumped on that area than in Chernobyl itself. And there are 16 isotopes decaying down into lead eventually, and each step is an alpha beta emitter, basically. So do your math, protect the children. Thank you for listening today. Hopefully you will contact us and we can make movement on it. Otherwise, the charge.
Would you remove your device, please?